Leave the baby home or don't come, my mom texted. My dad added, we just want a peaceful dinner. I replied, understood. I stayed home. And so did the $6,800 tuition transfer I'd been covering. By 11 a.m. I had 22 missed calls and one text that just said, call me now. My name is Rachel and I'm 32 years old. I need to tell you about something that happened last month that completely changed my relationship with my parents. And honestly, I still don't know if I handled it right. It started with a text message. Simple. Told, leave the baby home or don't come. That was my mom. 10 minutes later my dad chimed in, we just want a peaceful dinner. I stared at my phone like it was written in a foreign language. They were talking about my 6-month-old daughter, Emma. My daughter. They wanted me at my brother Josh's engagement dinner, but Emma wasn't welcome because, and I quote, babies cry and ruin the ambience. The ambience. At a family dinner. Do you think they had any right to ask that of me? Here's what nobody tells you about becoming a parent. It shows you exactly who people really are. My parents had been lukewarm about my pregnancy from the start. I was unmarried. My ex, Daniel, left when I was 4 months pregnant, and my mother actually said to me, well, this complicates things, doesn't it? Like Emma was a scheduling conflict. But I'd been covering something for them. Something big. My parents aren't wealthy. My dad's a retired electrician, my mom worked at a bank for 30 years. But my younger brother Josh, golden child Josh, had decided 3 years ago to go back to school to become a nurse. Except he'd burned through his savings on a failed business venture and had no way to pay for it. So guess who stepped in? I'd been making good money as a medical sales rep, and I offered to cover his tuition. Not as a loan, as a gift. Over 3 years I'd transferred $6,800 directly to the nursing program. Josh knew. I knew. But my parents, they thought he'd gotten grants. He'd asked me not to tell them because he was embarrassed. I'd been fine with that. Until that text message. Leave the baby home or don't come. I typed back, understood. And then I stayed home. Emma. We had a lovely evening. I made pasta, she smashed peas all over her face, and we sang Disney songs during bath time. It was perfect. But here's what I also did. I logged into my bank account and canceled the automatic monthly transfer of $285 to Josh's program. His last semester. He had 4 months left. I didn't tell anyone. I just stopped. The dinner was Friday. By Saturday morning, nothing. I figured they were enjoying their peaceful celebration without my crying baby ruining things. Monday morning at 10:47 a.m., my phone started ringing. Declined. Mom again. Declined. Dead. Dead. Josh's fiancée, Melissa. By 11 a.m. I had 22 missed calls. Then came the text from my mother, call me now. I was feeding Emma her bottle and I just looked at that message. Do you ever have those moments where you know whatever you do next will change everything? I didn't call back. Instead I texted, I'm with Emma. What's up? 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. We need to talk about Josh's tuition. There's been some kind of mistake. The school says he's not paid for this semester. But there was. The nursing program had sent Josh a notice 2 weeks earlier about his final payment. He'd been counting on my transfer. When it didn't come, he panicked and confessed to Mom and Dad that I'd been paying all along. I texted back, that's not a mistake. My phone immediately started ringing again. I let it ring. Then Josh, Rachel, what the hell? I have to pay $1,140 by Friday or I can't finish my clinicals. You promised. I'd promised. That was true. But had they promised to treat my daughter like she mattered? What do you think, did I go too far? I finally answered around 2 p.m. It was my dad, his voice tight and controlled. Rachel, we need to discuss this situation with your brother's school. Hey, I said. Emma was napping on my chest. Josh told us you've been helping with his tuition. That's very generous, honey, but he needs this last payment to graduate. I don't understand why you would stop now. Generous. Like I'd been doing something extra. Dad, did Josh mention how much I've paid over 3 years? Silence. Then, he said you'd helped. He didn't give us a number. $6,800. I heard him exhale. That's incredibly generous. Which is why I'm confused about why you'd stop now. Because last Friday, you told me my daughter wasn't welcome at a family dinner. More silence. Rachel, that's not. We just thought it would be easier for you to enjoy the evening without worrying about the baby. We were thinking of you. Do you believe that? Because I didn't. Dad, her name is Emma. And if she's not welcome at family dinners, then I'm not sure why I should be paying for family expenses. This isn't about money. This is about your brother's future. He's worked so hard. On my dime, I said quietly. While I was pregnant, alone, working overtime to save for maternity leave, I was still sending him money every month. When Emma was born and I had complications, I was still sending money. When I couldn't afford help and was up with a colicky newborn, I was still sending money. And you know what nobody in this family did? Visit me. Bring a meal. Hold the baby so I could shower. My dad was quiet. Then, your mother and I didn't want to intrude. We thought you needed space. I needed help, Dad. I needed family. But apparently Emma and I are only family when it's convenient. Rachel, that's not fair. Maybe it wasn't. But it felt true. Trust me, this was only the beginning. My mother hadn't even called me yet, and when she did, well, you'll want to hear that conversation. My mother called 30 minutes later. Rachel Marie, what is going on? Her voice was sharp. She only uses my middle name when she's really angry. Your father said you're refusing to help Josh finish school? I took a breath. Emma was still sleeping on my chest and I wasn't going to let this wake her up. I'm not refusing anything, Mom. I just stopped paying. Over a dinner invitation? Rachel, that's incredibly petty. Petty. That word made my jaw clench. You told me to leave my baby at home or not come. That's not an invitation, Mom. That's a condition. We just wanted one adult evening. Is that so wrong? Josh's engagement is important. And Emma isn't? Silence. Then she sighed like I was being deliberately difficult. Of course she's important. But Rachel, you have to understand, babies are disruptive. Melissa's parents were there, we wanted to make a good impression. So I'm an embarrassment now? Me and Emma both. I didn't say that. Stop twisting my words. Her voice got louder. This is about Josh's education. He's 1 semester away from his degree. You can't just abandon him because your feelings got hurt. My feelings got hurt. Like this was some minor squabble over nothing. Do you think I was being petty? Mom, I've paid $6,800 over 3 years. While pregnant. While raising Emma alone. And not once did you or Dad offer to help me. We didn't know you were struggling. You never asked. I shouldn't have to ask my parents to care about their grandchild. That came out louder than I meant. Emma stirred against my chest but didn't wake. My mom went quiet. When she spoke again, her voice was cold. So this is punishment. You're punishing Josh because you're upset with us. I'm not punishing anyone. I'm just done being the only one who sacrifices for this family. Sacrifices. She laughed bitterly. Rachel, you make good money. Josh is barely scraping by. We thought you were happy to help him. I was happy. Until you made it clear that my daughter doesn't matter to you. That's not true and you know it. Then why haven't you visited in 6 weeks? Why didn't you come when I had mastitis and couldn't get out of bed? Why is it always me reaching out, me adjusting, me making it work? She didn't answer right away. Then, this isn't about us. This is about Josh. He's your brother, Rachel. And Emma is your granddaughter. Another long silence. Your father and I need to think about this, she finally said. But I hope you realize what you're doing. Josh might not graduate because of you. That will be on your conscience. She hung up before I could respond. I sat there staring at my phone. My hands were shaking now. Emma woke up and looked at me with those big brown eyes, completely trusting. Completely innocent in all of this. Was my mom right? Was this all on me? That evening Josh called. I almost didn't answer, but I figured I owed him a conversation at least. Rachel. His voice was tight. I don't know what's going on between you and Mom and Dad, but I need that tuition money. I graduate in December. I already have a job lined up at County General. Please don't do this. Josh, when's the last time you asked me how I was doing? What? When's the last time you called to check on me? Or Emma? He was quiet. I don't. Rachel, I've been drowning in clinical since studying. I barely have time to. I've been drowning too. In diapers and sleepless nights and trying to do this alone. But I still found time to send you money every single month. I know and I'm grateful. Are you? Or did you just expect it? That's not fair. His voice rose. You offered to help me. I didn't force you. You're right. I offered. And I kept my promise for 3 years. But last Friday Mom and Dad made it very clear where Emma and I stand in this family. So I'm making some adjustments. This is insane. You're going to ruin my life over a stupid dinner. A stupid dinner. Josh, has it occurred to you that maybe I needed help too? That maybe having a baby alone while working full-time is hard? That maybe I could have used some of that $6,800 for childcare or medical bills. Then why did you offer if you couldn't afford it? That stung. Because he had a point, didn't he? I'd offered. I'd insisted even. I could afford it, I said quietly. I thought family would show up for each other. Both ways. He sighed. Look, I get that you're upset. But taking it out on me isn't the answer. I didn't make mom and dad say that stuff about Emma. No, but you didn't defend her either. You were there at that dinner, having a great time without us. What was I supposed to do? Start a fight at my own engagement party? Maybe not. But he could have called afterward. He could have said something. I need to go, I told him. Emma needs to be fed. Rachel, wait, the payment is due Friday. Please. I'm begging you. I closed my eyes. I'll think about it. I hung up before he could say anything else. That night I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying all of it in my head. Maybe I was being petty. Maybe I was letting my hurt feelings destroy Josh's future. But then I looked at Emma in her crib and I thought, doesn't she deserve a family that values her too? The next morning something happened that I didn't expect. Something that changed everything. And trust me, you're not going to believe who called me. Tuesday morning my phone rang at 7 a.m. unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but Emma was already awake and babbling, so I picked up. Rachel? It's Diane. Diane. Josh's fiancée, Melissa's mother. I'd met her exactly twice. Hi. I hope I'm not calling too early. Melissa gave me your number. Oh, we need to talk about what happened at the dinner. My stomach dropped. Great. Now the in-laws were getting involved. Look, if this is about Josh's tuition. It's not. She paused. Well, not exactly. Rachel, I was at that dinner. I heard what your mother said to you about Emma. I froze. Okay. It was completely out of line. Her voice was firm. I have 4 grandchildren. If someone told my daughter to leave her baby at home for a family dinner, I'd have walked out. And I told your mother as much after you didn't show up. Wait, what? You told my mom? I did. She tried to brush it off, said you were being sensitive because of postpartum hormones or some nonsense. I shut that down real quick. Diane laughed dryly. I'm a labor and delivery nurse, Rachel. I don't tolerate that kind of talk. I sat down, my legs suddenly weak. I don't understand. Why are you calling me? Because Melissa told me what Josh did. How he let you pay for his school and never told your parents. How he's panicking now and blaming you for everything. She sighed. My daughter loves your brother, but I didn't raise her to watch people get used. And Josh has been using you. I felt tears prick my eyes. A stranger was validating what I'd been feeling for days. He says I promised to help him, I whispered. And you did. For 3 years. Rachel, that's above and beyond. What you're asking for in return. Basic respect for your child. That's the bare minimum. I started crying. Actual crying. Emma looked up at me concerned and I tried to smile at her. I don't know what to do, I admitted. Everyone's acting like I'm ruining his life. Here's what you're going to do, Diane said firmly. You're going to stand your ground. And I'm going to have a conversation with my future son-in-law about gratitude and family. Melissa's already furious with him, by the way. She is. Oh honey, yes. She had no idea he was taking money from you. She thought he'd been working 2 jobs. When she found out the truth and that he never defended Emma at that dinner. Let's just say they had quite the argument. Do you think Josh deserved that? We talked for a few more minutes. Diane told me about her grandkids, asked about Emma, and made me promise to send pictures. When we hung up, I felt lighter than I had in days. But the relief didn't last long. Wednesday afternoon, my dad showed up at my apartment. No warning. Just knocked on the door while I was changing Emma's diaper. I opened it, Emma on my hip. Dad. Can I come in? He looked tired. Older than I remembered. I stepped aside and let him in. He sat on my couch and I noticed he was looking around. Really looking. At the bottles in the sink. The laundry basket overflowing. The dark circles under my eyes. Your mother doesn't know I'm here, he said finally. I sat across from him, bouncing Emma gently. Okay. I've been thinking about what you said. About needing help. About us not being there. He rubbed his face. Rachel, I'm sorry. You're right. We should have been there more. I wasn't expecting that. At all. Your mother and I, we got so focused on Josh and his struggles. His business failing, him going back to school at 30. We thought you had it all together. Good job, your own place. We didn't see that you were struggling too. I was struggling, Dad. I still am. I know that now. He looked at Emma. She looks like you did as a baby. Same eyes. Something in my chest cracked a little. But Rachel, he continued, Josh really does need that money. The deadline is Friday. Is there any way? No. He blinked. No. No. I'm not paying it. His face hardened. So you're really going to let him fail? After 3 years of helping? Dad, I helped for 3 years. I kept my word. But things change. I have a daughter now. I have priorities. And your brother isn't one of them? Is Emma one of yours? That hung in the air between us. He stood up slowly. I thought you were more mature than this, Rachel. More forgiving. I thought you'd be more of a grandfather. He left without another word. I locked the door behind him and slid down against it, Emma still in my arms. She grabbed my face with her tiny hands, smiling, completely unaware that I'd just possibly destroyed my relationship with my entire family. But here's what happened next. Thursday morning I got a call that made me question everything all over again. And what I found out, it made me realize this went so much deeper than I thought. Thursday morning, Josh's fiancée Melissa called me. Rachel, we need to meet. Today. Please. Her voice sounded weird. Strained. Melissa, I don't think. It's not about the money. Well, it is, but not how you think. Please. Just coffee. Bring Emma. Something in her tone made me agree. We met at a cafe near my place an hour later. Melissa looked exhausted. She ordered a coffee, sat down across from me and just stared at her cup for a moment. Josh has been lying, she finally said. About what? The tuition. He doesn't owe $1,140. I felt my stomach drop. What? He owes $340. I saw the actual bill yesterday. He's been lying about the amount. I couldn't breathe. Why would he? Because he wanted the extra $800 for the wedding. Melissa's voice cracked. We've been arguing about the budget. He wanted a bigger venue, fancier catering. I told him we couldn't afford it. Apparently he thought if he told everyone it was tuition, you'd pay and he could pocket the difference. Are you kidding me? I just stared at her. Emma was chewing on her teething ring, completely oblivious. I'm calling off the engagement, Melissa said quietly. What? No, Melissa. Rachel, he lied to you. He's been using you for years and he doesn't even feel bad about it. When I confronted him last night, you know what he said? Rachel can afford it, so what's the big deal? She wiped her eyes. I can't marry someone like that. I felt sick. My brother. My little brother who I'd helped through everything. I'm so sorry, I whispered. You have nothing to apologize for. I'm sorry. For all of it. My mom was right about him. She stood up. I just thought you should know the truth before tomorrow's deadline. Whatever you decide to do, make sure it's what you want. Not what they're guilting you into. She left and I sat there with Emma trying to process everything. Josh had been planning to scam me. My own brother. I went home and did something I should have done weeks ago. I called my grandmother. My dad's mom, Grandma Joanne. She lived 2 hours away, but we'd always been close. Rachel, I was just thinking about you and that baby. When are you bringing her to visit? I started crying. Just completely broke down. And I told her everything. The dinner. The tuition. The lies. All of it. When I finished, she was quiet for a long moment. Your father called me yesterday, she finally said. Told me you were being selfish and vindictive. I told him he raised you better than to be either of those things, so maybe he should look in the mirror. I laughed through my tears. What did he say? He got quiet. Your father knows when I'm right. She paused. Rachel, honey, I'm going to tell you something I probably should have said a long time ago. Your parents have always favored Josh. Always. And I've called them out on it before, but they don't listen to me. Why though? Because he needs them more. You've always been independent, capable. Josh has always been, well, a mess. And they mistake enabling him for loving him. She sighed. But that's not fair to you. It never has been. What do I do, Grandma? What does your gut tell you? I looked at Emma playing with her feet in her bouncer. That I need to protect her. That I need to show her she matters. Then that's what you do. And let me tell you something else. I'm driving up there tomorrow. It's time I met my great-granddaughter properly. And it's time I had a conversation with your parents. We hung up, and for the first time all week I felt like someone was actually on my side. But Friday morning came and my phone started ringing again. The deadline was at 5 p.m. And this time it wasn't just my family calling. What happened in those final hours before the deadline? Trust me, nobody saw it coming. Not even me. Friday. The deadline was 5 p.m. By noon I had 37 missed calls. My parents. Gosh. Even some relatives I barely talked to. Apparently Josh had been texting everyone, making me out to be the villain who was destroying his dreams. I'd made my decision though. I wasn't paying. At 2 p.m. my doorbell rang. I looked through the peephole and saw Grandma Joanne standing there with my parents behind her. She must have called them. I opened the door. Emma immediately reached for Grandma, who scooped her up with the biggest smile. There's my beautiful great-grandbaby. Oh, look at you. My mom and dad stood there awkwardly. We need to talk, Grandma said firmly. All of us. Now. We sat in my tiny living room. Grandma held Emma, cooing at her, while my parents perched on the couch like they were at a dentist's office. I heard about Melissa, my mom said quietly. Josh called this morning. The engagement's off. I nodded. I know. He also admitted he lied about the tuition amount. My dad's voice was heavy. He wanted the extra money for the wedding. I know that too. My mom's eyes were red. Rachel, I don't even know what to say. We raised him better than that. Did you? I asked. Came out harsher than I meant, but I didn't take it back. Grandma Joanne spoke up. No, Carol, you didn't. You raised him to think he deserves things without earning them. You raised him to believe Rachel would always clean up his messes. My mom flinched. And you, Grandma turned to my dad, you taught your daughter that her value is in what she provides, not who she is. Mom, my dad started. Don't mom me, Richard. I'm 78 years old. I'll say what needs saying. She looked at me, still holding Emma. Rachel has spent 3 years paying for Josh's education while raising a baby alone. And what have you two done? Made her feel like her child is an inconvenience. The silence was deafening. My mom started crying. Actual tears. I didn't mean. I thought we were helping by giving you space. And the dinner, I just wanted everything to be perfect for Josh. Josh isn't the only one who matters, I said quietly. I matter too. Emma matters too. I know. My mom looked at me. I know that now. Rachel, I'm so sorry. I've been a terrible mother. A terrible grandmother. My dad cleared his throat. We both have. And we're going to do better. If you'll let us. Do you think I should forgive them? At 4:30 p.m. my phone rang. Gosh. I answered on speaker so everyone could hear. Rachel. His voice was broken. I know I screwed up. I know I lied. Melissa left me. Mom and Dad are furious. And I deserve all of it. I didn't say anything. I don't expect you to pay the tuition. I don't expect you to forgive me. I need you to know I'm sorry. For everything. For taking advantage of you. For not appreciating what you did. For not standing up for Emma. He took a shaky breath. You're the best sister anyone could ask for, and I've been the worst brother. Josh. I'm going to pay you back. All of it. Even if it takes me years. I promise. I looked at my parents, the grandma holding Emma. At the clock showing 4:35 p.m. What's the real amount you need for tuition? I asked. $340. But Rachel, you don't have to. Check your account in 10 minutes. I hung up and opened my banking app. I transferred $340 to the nursing program. Not for Josh. For me. Because I wanted to finish what I started on my terms. My mom was crying again. Thank you. Rachel, thank you. I didn't do it for you, I said. I did it because I keep my promises. But things are different now. We understand, my dad said. And we're going to prove to you that we can be better. Better parents. Better grandparents. Grandma Joanne smiled at me. That's my girl. Over the next few weeks things slowly changed. My parents started coming over twice a week to help with Emma. My mom brought meals. My dad fixed things around my apartment. They weren't perfect, but they were trying. Josh graduated in December. He's working at County General now, and true to his word, he's been paying me back $100 a month. He also started therapy, which Melissa made a condition of them even talking again. They're taking things slow, but they're talking. Last Sunday we all had dinner together. Mom and Dad's house. And this time, Emma's the guest of honor, my mom said when she called to invite me. We're celebrating 6 months of the most beautiful granddaughter in the world. I cried when she said that. The dinner was chaotic. Emma threw sweet potatoes everywhere. She cried when Josh tried to hold her. The ambience was definitely ruined. And it was perfect. My dad pulled me aside before I left. I'm proud of you, Rachel, for standing up for yourself and for Emma. I should have said that a long time ago. Thanks, Dad. He hugged me and I felt like maybe, finally, we were becoming the family we should have been all along. So that's my story. Was I right to stop paying? Was I too harsh? I still don't know. But I do know this. Emma will grow up knowing she matters. That she's valued. That family means showing up not just when it's convenient but when it's hard. If you made it this far, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this story, I'd love a like. And if you have thoughts, whether you think I did the right thing or completely messed up, please share them in the comments. I read every single one, and honestly, I'd love to hear what you would have done in my situation. Thanks for being here. It means more than you know.